strength to change, the strength to make moves, the strength to stay, the strength to hold on despite the pain, the strength to not rock the mic in vain, the strength to maintain, the strength to change, the strength to make moves, the strength to stay, the strength to hold on the pain, the strength.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Collegiate Star League. My name's Joey J. Zilk. I'm here with What's Wrong. We are live into the knife round on Mirage. So, first map went in favor of Santa Cruz. They won it in overtime, 19-17 to Berkeley. And, well, Mirage is definitely going to be definitely an interesting map. Lots of history on this map here in the CSL. It's definitely a favorite amongst a lot of the teams.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because in a different league for Collegiate Coliseum, we played Berkeley yesterday, and the two maps we played were Cash and Mirage. So it's kind of funny that they're playing Cash and Mirage. So Berkeley should be feeling pretty comfortable on this map too.
Yeah. Let's. Did you ever get to scrim Berkeley much on this map?
No, we scrimmed like once or twice, and then we had our two matches. But Berkeley does have something prepared for this, so should see how this works.
Yeah, it looks like they are opting for that B split. They have two towards mid, smoke on the cat, and JoJo actually finding the headshot through the smoke. So maybe overcommitting to that, just spamming, making those tracers a little bit too readable for the USP, and they're just going to laser them down. But Neuro actually boosted on bench here. A pretty cool spot that you don't see very often, but they will opt. Once they spot it, they're going to fall back, and Sayo grabbing 3 kills with this P2000, and that's just going to stop the B push right in his tracks. So Jay, last man alive, gets finished off by JoJo. Full house by JoJo and Sayo. Between the mid and B players, they just completely drop the entire defense. So I'm not sure how you feel about it, but I don't really like that split strat where you send 2 towards mid and 3 B. The only way that works is if, in my opinion, you put a little pressure on underpass and get that window guy to get distracted so that your top mid player can then chime in and take out the window player. Otherwise, the USP just more often than not is going to win that battle.
Yeah, so the Terrors, they are going to force up. They just smoke out Catwalk, and it looks like all of them are just running up through Cat. Fast B take here. It's going to come down to these entries. JoJo able to hold it down with Sayo. Oh, look at this. It's just a clean defense.
Yeah, no hope in that. Yeah, what do you think about that, their pistol round strat where they put 2 towards top mid? Do you think, I was just saying, like, I don't think it really works unless you at least put a little pressure from underpass so that the window guy has to preoccupy his attention, so he's a little bit more preoccupied, and otherwise you're just going to get owned by the USP. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, on pistol round, it's mainly just like hitting your shots, and JoJo got a spam through smoke, and then I think his second kill was also, I think, also a spam, so it's kind of unlucky on Berkeley's part. But yeah, you're right. Usually, you want to couple that with like an underpass push. Pistol rounds are just so volatile because it just comes down to who hits the headshots. Right.
Yeah, you don't have a lot to work with. It pretty much just comes down to Glock trains more often than not, just full armor, 1 or 2 guys with the utility to block off some pretty strong choke points. But Daikon actually getting the 1 kill, and actually, yeah, he gets dropped down to 1 HP, so JoJo's dead as well, and CTs are actually kind of going down. Daikon getting 2 kills with 1 HP? What? How is this even possible? I don't even...
Yeah.
I don't know how he did that.
OP. P90 is way too OP, so the aim punch comes in and just clean up.
Yeah, you can't even shoot the side of a barn door or whatever. I'm not good with analogies. I'm just gonna stray away from those for a little bit. But Alu or Alo or Alex, I guess I should just call him Alo because I don't know if he would. I should call him Alu. That's what it looks like to me. It's French. But yeah. Regardless, Daikon finally going down, and the aim punch is going to end up finishing off Alo in that situation. So we'll see if they go for this third round bye. They did get the bomb plant, and yeah, they will opt for the AK-47. So 1 Molotov on Izzy B, and that'll be it for the Molotov. So smokes across the board. for the most part, everyone's got enough utilities that's workable, especially considering what they're going against. P90 on Neuro, definitely not to be underestimated, and FAMAS on Quantum. So this is a pretty good round to go full buy-in. And actually, Daikon going to be able to spot that cross. That smoke was not perfect, and they'll give him a little bit of information. But Etcher actually grabbing the entry towards Palace, I believe, or yeah, it was Palace. So they over-aggressed, right? Or did he go for that pick?
I think he was going for like an aggressive pick, but Quantum. Usually, you don't push Palace with a rifle. Usually, you hold it with an op, or if you push it with the rifle, it's like a double push. But regardless, UCSC, they try to play their style of aggressive, but then Berkeley, they like to play that passive style, so right into their hands.
Yeah, definitely. Daikon just going to hold this angle, takes a shot before falling back, and they're going to know mid control's been given up, but they're going to be able to see over the smoke. Aloe not going to be able to do much from that position, and Jay, he's going to try and get the timing right, but JoJo's wary of it. He's going to be able to drop him, and here comes the B take now. Flashes. Full execute coming into play. It's going to be down to this B-man to hold it, and Neuro can't do anything, so Sayo, he's the last man here on site. He's just going to bide his time behind this pillar as long as possible, give time for his teammates to rotate in, and yeah, he's just going to go for face, but eventually gets punished by Izzy B on that right angle. And now the bomb's going down, so JoJo and Daikon have to retake here. Obviously, this is not as advisable with an AWP. You generally aren't going to be able to retake the B site. So many close angles. So many things you need to check. You end up just using your pistol more often than not.
You're absolutely right.
So, not much they can do. Obviously, you don't want to give that fourth round to Berkeley in this situation, especially when you're the CT side. You feel like you have the advantage. Feel like you should be winning these rounds. Obviously, it's not going your way, so they're just going to go for the smart tactic, save those weapons, and yeah. Sorry, I'm pretty sick right now. I misread the score. I'm totally off. Obviously, that's the first round for Berkeley. And, yeah, regardless, keep that economy. They built up quite a bit, and now they're going to be on the last stretch of their economy. They won't have a lot to work with if they lose this round. Actually, in fact, both teams are completely buying out. So this is actually a huge round for whoever wins this. They'll generally be able to get 2 in a row.
Yeah, again, another top mid smoke. That's a very common top mid smoke where you leave a little bit of gap on the left side, and it looks like Alex made it up top mid again. So now the CTs have to be worried about the spot, and JoJo aggressing ramp with Quantum. Again, you send 2 rifles, that's okay, but then Quantum has to be there for the trade kill. Unfortunately, the trade wasn't there, so now they're down again, 5v4, really early.
Yeah, exactly. And ever since the rifle rounds, we've been seeing Cal get these early picks, and it's generally just from a team making an aggressive play by themselves. It's not even like some trade play coming in. It's just one man seeing a window and going for it. And obviously, that's going to work out for them early game. We'll probably start to see a little more passive play from the CTs as they adjust to this, and try and make sure they can assure these trades instead of getting caught off guard in the one-on-ones. But Neuro, he's going to be the balcony player. He's going to have to go huge here if he wants to stop this defense. He's in a great position, and they molly out Truck, so they may not check balcony right now. They go for the flash. He lines him up, gets 1 kill, goes for the strafe, isn't able to find the second kill. He's actually lit Uv so low, and he has to reload, so he's going to get dropped by Uv with the Glock. And yeah, that's going to be the B site open for the taking. Fortunately, the rotator here from Market, Sayo's able to find a pick. But they will get the bomb down, so that's going to be a victory in and of itself. Jay rotating with the AK armor, no utilities to work with, and the defuse already coming into play. No kit, though, actually, so Jay could find something. Little does he know he's getting flanked by Daikon, so that'll be the round for him as well. And yeah, so finally, Santa Cruz coming back into it, only losing the 1 round. And this is where we're going to see probably just a quasi-buy come out of Berkeley, because unfortunately, consecutive losing a round right after winning one is going to be pretty detrimental to your money.
Yeah, so it looks like Berkeley, it's very likely that they're going to go down 5-1 very early here. Mirage is definitely a CT-sided affair. In CSL, we see these maps go the other way, like Cobblestone. We see it go like pretty CT-sided in CSL. And I believe in Cash, we see that. I don't even remember if it's more T-sided or CT-sided, but like You know what I mean. Like these maps that are supposed to be CT sided, you see it often like go the other way. So Mirage is definitely a CT sided map, but we'll see if they can hold on to this lead.
No, you're right. Like that, we've seen expected trends. What like looks like on paper or like in theory craft should be a CT sided map or T sided map, and it tends to actually go the opposite. So your expectations, maybe if you watch a lot of pro level games, aren't going to quite be the same coming into something like CSL. When teams maybe don't have quite the organization, it can be a lot harder to play a good defense and to lock down choke points when you're maybe not as practiced, not as experienced, and then you'll see sometimes T-sides where they're not expected to dominate, just run over and get 8 rounds. Obviously, we're off to a 5-1 start. It's looking pretty standard for Mirage play, but it can go both ways. That could go the other way, where it's hard to aggress as a terrorist, and you find that just a lot of teams will end up, like on Cobblestone, just getting 10, 11 rounds on CT side. So it can kind of go both ways. Counter-Strike's not a simple... You can't just overgeneralize or make a blanket statement about how things can go. It's a little easier and more predictable when you get to higher level of plays. You understand the players and their play style, but when it's teams like this that maybe don't have quite the experience, you can't just make a blanket statement and expect it to always be true. So things are more complicated than they seem. Obviously, we're seeing that 5-1, so it may very well be the trend. Daikon finding that mid pick, and now the T's are pretty much committed towards A, so they're going for the smokes, lining them up, and yeah, they're just going to go for this execute before the rotate comes in, and obviously now it's coming into play, and as long as they can drop Daikon, this would actually open up the site, but he gets the pick, falls back behind the smoke. Really good play by him to peek through the smoke. It's pretty standard once a smoke execute comes in for you to jump in front of the smoke and try to get the pick before you're completely blocked off, before your vision's blocked off, and it's working out in his favor. So Daikon getting that pick, Neuro chimes in, and he'll finish off the round as well. So Daikon getting the 3 kills for that round from mid, rotates over to A, and jumps in front of the smoke. So really good play, actually, we're seeing out of UCSC. They're definitely playing like smart standard play, not just playing overly passive, just hiding behind the smokes and trying to retake. They're definitely taking the aim battles to them and really taking control of the rounds, and I like to see that.
Yeah, so 6-1, very likely 7-1. It's just going to be a full-on rush. It should be an economy building round for UCSC. A really horrible start for Berkeley. They really need to step up their game to get a few more rounds. It's full-on rush. Nice trade coming in from Metro though, so Neuro caught in a bad place. He actually cannot get a single kill here. No, he does get 2, but good damage regardless. The players mid, they didn't spot the 4-man cat rush.
Yeah, it's definitely... Sorry, I was just getting flashbacks to... I can't remember the exact game.
Georgia versus Arizona.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna put anyone on blast, but that was it. Where the teams were able to just run up cat, and it was both sides. Like both teams are able to do it to each other, so it's not like one team was as guilty of it as the other. But both were able to just run up cat every round, and they were still putting like tons of mid pressure, the CTs, and they were still unable to stop the cat pushes. It was a really entertaining game, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure that one went into overtime. It was a really good game, but things like that shouldn't be able to happen, right? You shouldn't be able to rush up cat with no engagements at all. So I love Uv looking for that pick, finds it as well. So a lot of rifles doing the jobs that you'd expect an Opper to do on T side, right? Like I love Uv just ran balcony and finds the pick, and obviously that is possible. But generally, it's if someone's gonna jump spot that angle, they're gonna kind of strafe and make it really difficult for their head to get cut off. Obviously, he finds that pick a little bit easier for an Opera to do. And now is he catching the rotator of JoJo? He tries to push connector, thinks that might be clear, get information for his team, and in fact, he does just the opposite. He gets the information, but dies in the meantime. And Alex accidentally doing a little damage to the head of his teammate, and Daikon getting 2 kills, so they're going to actually even this up. Daikon's just been an anchor here on the staircase, and fully committed. Oob just walks straight over to the site, and this is just falling apart from a 5-on-3 to a 1-on-3. Jay, last man standing, 21 HP on the flank. He's been spotted out as well, thanks to that kill on Neuro, and he's going to have to make something huge happen. He actually finds the headshot onto Daikon. Now it's down to a 1v1, both relatively even on HP, but Quantum, he's got the better angle, holding here, unable to hit that shot, falls back instantly, and well, bomb's down. He only has 7 seconds to work with, so he has to commit to this plant, and will go down at least. He will be able to fall back here towards the connector area, and actually he's just going to hide on site, so doesn't peek for a bit. This could actually be really unexpected. Quantum has no idea where Jay is at this moment.
Oh,
Timings are just so close by both of these players. Jay he has to play the patient game. Yeah, he does not need to peek from the situation at all. Quantum with the slow walk up, has no idea he's even there, and UCSC get another round, 8-1 now, starting to pave the way for that just CT dominance and something that you would expect here on Mirage.
Yeah, this is the round of 32. So as we move up higher and higher, round of 16, round of 8, these mistakes that you're seeing, you're probably not going to be seeing at a little bit higher levels of play. I mean, it was a 3v5, another 3v5 that Berkeley manages to lose, and it was literally the same guy peeking, re-peeking, and there was nothing done about him. It's kind of unfortunate. Nice pop flash in for Quantum. But again, how many rounds has Berkeley gotten the entry frag and then lost? I think they've almost lost every round, despite getting the entry frag.
Yeah, exactly. They're able to find the entry and then again getting evened up by Quantum. They got 2 in the previous round, able to find that B pick, rotated to A, punish the ramp player, and then it's just Daikon finding 3 kills from the top of stairs. So unless they really figure out how to smoke the top of stairs in the next 5 rounds, or at least do it consistently, able to hold on to that smoke, he's just going to keep punishing them. And now, obviously, we're seeing Daikon out for the round. This might be their opportunity. Etcher with the op this time. And, yeah, they've been able to work up connector, but all the CTs have rotated. They've read them like a book. Quantum here in sandwich. Also, Sayo with the crossfire. So he's going to be able to spot and then fall back. Kind of be the bait for the sandwich player here in Quantum, and here comes the execute. They're going to start pouring out through connector. Bomb going down as well, and this crossfire may come into play. Quantum, he's not been spotted, but now he gave away his position. J low, and he's completely surrounded. Yeah, this is not looking good for them. I Love Oob actually able to chime in, so Quantum, the last player, gets completely surrounded by Oob, and they actually had the perfect read on that, but the man advantage didn't quite work out in their favor. And if the CT player had maybe just lived a bit longer, they would have had some alternate angles to work with. But obviously, that's not the way the round went. They had the read, they just weren't able to hit the shots. And Berkeley's definitely happy to be able to get a second round on the board.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised to see how broke UCSC is. They were showing a little bit of disrespect. I think they were trying to knife a guy. And he died for free. That's like $5,000 worth of gear. And then they were randomly pushing because they were up like 7-1. So, I mean, they got punished, and now they lost 1 round after losing 5, or after winning 5, they lose 1 round and they have to go into eco. So, it's pretty clear. We've seen this scoreline before, this exact scoreline, 8-1, right? And then we saw Santa Cruz come back against Berkeley. So Berkeley down 8-1. We could very well see them gain those last crucial 5-6 rounds at the end.
Exactly. And we'll see it. See if that momentum swing comes into play again. Obviously, you can't count anyone out. we're done doing that. I want to be like, oh yeah, this is definitely just looking favorable for this team, but I think being down is actually favorable in CSL. If you're down, it just gives you that fire. Teams are hungry for the comeback. But regardless, UCSC gonna give up a 3rd round now to Berkeley, and for those of you maybe just tuning in, UCSC are the winners of the first match. They won cash 19-17 rather, in overtime, and Berkeley down again, but getting 2 consecutive rounds, that's going to be a breath of fresh air for them. They're going to be able to start building that T economy, which can really snowball, actually, especially if they win this round. That'll force the CTs to save, and they actually look like they're considering quasi-buying. I don't know why. They have enough for 3 rifles. Yeah, this is a buy.
You're not gonna see this kind of mistake in once we get up higher, because I mean, like, they have to decide, are they buying or not? You got 3 guys who just bought out. Sayo could have bought a rifle. Neuro could have bought as well. And it's just like this kind of lack of coordination is just kind of unacceptable, especially when you get into playoffs. They're so simple to fix.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's just communication. It's being able to stay organized and not talk over each other during the buy time, right? It could be very easy for someone to just overpower maybe the IGL and just be like, we're saving, we're saving. Whereas the IGL is trying to look for a buy this round and go for the win. And obviously it's working out for them. They were able to get the entry. Quantum going to regain that lead for his team. And now the Bomb's questioning what he wants to do. They were set up for an A execute, but that kind of gets dominated. Stopped in its tracks, and well, 3 CTs towards the A site, so they're questioning whether they want to run back. They can definitely hear some movement, and yeah, it's just Sayo playing from market here, so they will rotate one back over. Daikon is going to jump out window, probably just going to go play from site. You generally don't want to have 2 playing market. You want to have some different angles to work with, and yeah, it does look like the T's, they are going to opt for this B play. That's really all they can go for. Alex, he has to jump window. Good play by him to not get opt. And they're not going to expect Daikon here on site. So he's going to go for the default plant, gets punished. That pillar is a very common angle for people to play, especially when the time gets so low. There's generally no time for you to even plant. So why take face, right? Daikon played that perfectly, hid behind the right pillar, catches the planter planting default, and that'll get them a 9th round. So way to play that man advantage, not going too overly aggressive, and just playing those trades effectively. So that'll be 9 rounds now, and Cal's definitely sweating. They're sweating bullets, and they need to start shooting bullets.
Yeah. I mean, that should have been a Berkeley round, but you know, standard Berkeley playing super slow, not really controlling the map, so the rotations come really quickly. They get picked off one by one, and they lose another round. 9-3. If they lose this round, they're gonna have absolutely $0. So they're probably gonna just force going into these last few terrace rounds. And it looks like, again, they are going to go back to their slow play, but it looks like this time they want to pinch onto the A site.
Yeah, and maybe a different tempo now, actually. They do have this one guy kind of lurking towards the underpass area. Uv, he could be a pretty important linchpin right now. If he can catch off one of the CT players while they're distracted towards the A ramp, it could be definitely big. Quantum not overcommitting to this peak. He's just hiding behind triple. He knows he's completely open from his left side, so he can't really take an engagement right now. He goes for the peak, misses the first shot. Pop flash coming through. This actually could blind quite a bit of his teammates. He's able to find the flash, or find the 5-7 and the flash. Quantum doing way more than he really should have from that position. Neuro turning this 1v2 into a 1v1. Bomb down as well. He's going to go for the pop flash, fall back into connector. He knows that the bomb's in his lap. And obviously Etcher's going to have to find something. So he's just playing passive from this angle. Kind of just a classic standoff. Both players trying to see if the other will make a mistake. And while he does have control of the bomb... Oh, Neuro! Finding Etcher, actually. He actually didn't quite have the bomb from that angle. But he reassessed it. Etcher kind of wide-peeked it and gave that to him. So... yeah, it could have been recoverable. I'm sure Etcher didn't quite know where the last CT was, so obviously if he's sitting on stairs, you can't really recover the bomb, and you're going to have to just go for that no-scope from that angle, or some sort of quick scope. Obviously, it's an op-v-op standoff in that situation, but really sad to see these close rounds falling apart, really, for Berkeley. They seem to be getting these early advantages, and then they just fall apart. And, well, they're just going to opt for that YOLO B-Rush. This could be really good when they're not expecting it, but Sayo with the P90. Now he's just opting to jump spray, and obviously only finds 1 kill before going down, but that's going to be enough. I love Uv. Last man with the Tech 9 here in apps. Generally, this is the man that stays alive as the bomb goes down, and he's able to just chill here, make sure the flank doesn't come into play, but obviously no bomb went down, and now he just looks silly sitting in apps. So that'll be 11 rounds now for Santa Cruz. Starting to build that momentum. Obviously, economy doesn't matter for both teams at this point, but it's definitely just a huge momentum swing now for Santa Cruz to get those 3 in a row.
Yeah, I actually think UC Berkeley is a little bit tilted here. I mean, losing... I think they're recognizing the mistakes too. Alex is 2-13, just not really showing up, and that's... I mean, losing the first map in the manner that they did, you know, after going up like, what, 8-1, and then losing, oh, Jojo with another spam through smoke. I mean, just, in the manner that they're losing, is just, I'm sure they're tilted.
Definitely, it starts to make you question, your team and the way you're playing, and is it me that's not hitting my shots? Especially a player like Alex, he did perform in the first game. It could be such a close game as well on Cash. When you go to overtime and lose it, you start to think of every round that went wrong and every detail that could have won you the game. And Counter-Strike comes down to that, right? It really is. It can be individual, but it's also team-based. Like, you could have done something for your team, but your team could have done something for you, and if you had just hit that one shot, it could have been huge. I thought Daikon was going to get that MLG falling scope, falling op shot, but regardless, only 3 rounds for Cal. This is that kind of Fnatic-esque scoreline where you just get completely destroyed. Just 12 rounds on CT side, and you have to win the pistol. This is where you have to win it. Like, if you don't, it's over. Like, I don't mean to call games, but if you don't win this pistol, it's essentially over. Or at least the force buy, which is essentially like essentially your second chance pistol now. It's so ingrained in the meta that you really can't count out a force buy on second round. So if you can't win one of the first 2 rounds, it's definitely over. And UCSC, they get spotted. Jay gets the first pick with that USP. That's going to be a huge opening actually for them as the Glock train comes in, and 2 already rotated on Cat. So they have a perfect pincer here on the site. I'm trying to go down. Will he actually get it? Sayo unable to. He was actually like 0.1 second away from getting that bomb down, so that could have made a pretty big difference for them. Obviously a little bit unfortunate that they're not able to do that and not going to get quite the force buy that maybe they were looking for, or at the very least that round 3 full buy. So definitely a round Cal needed to get.
Yeah, it's Berkeley getting that crucial pistol round like you stated, and it looks like we're gonna have 5 players SMGs. And some of these rounds, I'm controlling myself from going out into these like outbursts. Like in my head, I'm literally like, "What is this guy doing?" And it's just like I have to refrain from saying that, you know, because sometimes your decision making is just. I mean, look at the A sides, just completely gone. They weren't holding the right crossfires. Now they have to retake in a 3v4 situation, and I think, like you said before, the anti-ecos, they're not something you take lightly.
Yeah, you definitely can't count out these force buys. These pistols are insane. People call the Tech 9 the 3rd best rifle in the game for a reason. He's looking for that 180. Almost able to actually drop Jay there, and that would have turned into a 1v1, and he could have fell back actually to ramp to take that battle with Uv. And the UMP, while it is a great rifle, or a great SMG rather, insane armor pen and all the other stats that go with it, the moving accuracy, it's still, you know, comparable to a Tech 9 as far as stats go. Great armor penetration, good helmet damage, good movement accuracy, lots of things that can really keep it fair in a 1v1. So both teams actually making this relatively close, pushing the economy down into forcing each other to force buy is what I'm trying to say. Both teams do not want to give up this advantage. They want to continuously push, put on the pressure, try and destroy the other's economy. And here comes just the all-out Tech 9 rush. Unable to find that kill, Neuro goes for the crouch spray and unfortunately can't find it, but Sayo gets a 2nd kill here on site, so that's going to open it up. He wants to wide peek here, Etcher, but he doesn't want to overcommit and does just that. Etcher finds the op pick, so you could tell he was aware there was a player there. Obviously, it's a position that you eventually need to take an aim battle with. You don't want the CTs to just flood onto site because then you're for sure dead. It's kind of a timing thing, so you just got to play a lot, and it's a 1-on-3, so odds are they're just going to play pretty passive, right? The CTs don't want to overcommit to that, but this is exactly what Cal needs. Berkeley really needs to start building this CT economy, making sure they're getting relatively clean rounds, only losing 2 guys to that Tech 9 rush, which is actually pretty good, considering how a lot of them will often go. And yeah, this will be definitely a pretty telling round here. 3 towards the A site, and here comes that smoke execute, so 1 close to ramp. He really has to go big, but playing a 1-and-done position, not even able to get one actually is Izzy B. And they're just going to flood onto the site. They're hiding behind the smokes. Alex, not able to find one. He's completely flash pushes in front of the smoke. They're just having a standoff in this smoke. I don't know how he lived that long. And actually 3 of the T's are completely low, so this is a very doable retake. Etcher missing that shot on the firebox. Nade go in. That'll drop Quantum. Now all of them are relatively low, so Rifle and P90 could do huge damage from here. I love Oob. peeking from stairs, gets the tip of his hat ripped off, and
Oh,
here comes the flash play, and he's going overly aggressive. JoJo pushes in through stairs, able to find one there, and Etcher, now with the Tech 9, able to find one, down to a 1v1. Quantum, 7 HP, he pulls out the up, switches for the M4, perfect weapon for this situation. He's just going to stick it, drops the flash, flashes the oh, Quantum finds it while flashed! Don't know how he did that, and UCSC get a 13th round. A round that Cal really needed to get to start building economy, but came down to a really close situation. That pop flash, not sure how he ended up getting it. Tech 9 to OP, and yeah, that'll be now the force buy here for Cal Berkeley.
What? This makes no sense. UCSC just won the round, and they all bought Tech 9s, like they just lost the round.
Yep.
What? They won the round, and they're like on an eco B rush? Okay. Alright, at least they get into the site. No, they don't get anything. That, I have no, like, I'm not sure what to say about something like that. You lose, you win the round, and you go into an eco buy?
That was
I'm not,
impressive.
I don't know what to say, Joey. Like, you know, like, I don't know what to say, man.
Maybe they forgot they won it. Like, it was that close of a round. Quantum was flashed when he got the kill, right? So, like, maybe he just kind of, like, alt-tabbed already. He's like, oh, I lost it, you know? And his teammates, like, didn't tell him. So they just... I don't... That's crazy.
I don't understand how that happens.
Obviously, Tech 9 are good. And their idea was that, oh, it's okay. If we lose this round, we'll be able to buy again. But they didn't quite think about it because they had just won the round. So if they lose it, they can only buy Tech 9 armor again. Like, they can't full buy. So they were in kind of a backwards mindset. Obviously, they didn't have enough money to buy a full buy, but they could have at least gone for Galil armor. Not a lot of utilities, but they would have had rifles to contest the force buy. But perhaps they were just too scared of the economy here on Cal. I don't know. It's a very questionable decision to just go for that Tech 9 buy, and now they're paying consequences, losing 2 rounds because of it. So.
This is what I was talking about, how Berkeley plays a very methodical, slow play style, and then Santa Cruz kind of plays this reckless, fast style. And this is, and you see this contrast in how they're playing. So you saw UCSC, you know, the past few rounds, they're just running themselves into the sites without, I guess, like much thought into what they're doing. And it's, if UC Berkeley makes the comeback because of the mistake that Santa Cruz made, then I don't know, maybe UC Berkeley, they could come back to a third map.
Yeah, they definitely have all the right ingredients for this comeback. It's like you said, that methodical type of play is exactly what you need on Mirage. You need to play, like, you have to play as a team. You need to know when to fall back. Etcher actually playing a pretty sketchy angle here for an op, unable to hit that flick shot into JoJo, so really good movement by him to jump on top of that box. Get a different angle and kind of switch it up, but he overcommits, pushes into CT window, gets punished by Uv, and gives Cal another man advantage. So just when Santa Cruz had a little bit to bite on, they lose grip, and now it's going to be these T's walking up cat. Are we going to get another Georgia Tech game? Unfortunately not. They did give up mid control, so that would have been a good time to take that cat, actually. But here comes Jay. He's pushed in through apps. I think he heard the ladder, so he's going to walk slowly. First player, Sayo, doesn't spot him, but does get traded by Neuro. And this is going to be the sign for them to rush B, because I think they've killed the B player. Unfortunately for them, Uv, he's just going to be sitting here behind pillar. He's done this before. If he bides this time again, it's going to work perfectly. He goes for the fake plant, able to punish him, and now it's all down to Quantum. He does at least get the trade, but that Molotov is going to stop the plant. He's going to have to plant in front of the window. They're going to be able to jump out and kill him. So perfect play here by Cal. That's really how you have to play. When you have man advantages like that, you don't need to take unnecessary aim battles, and we're seeing that passive, methodical style play from Berkeley just paying off.
Yeah. It looks like they've managed to get both ops, and the counter-terrorists, they do have money coming in, so as long as they don't lose to any of these kind of fast plays that UCSC is throwing them, UC Berkeley are not in a bad position themselves. They actually mounted a decent comeback, getting 6 rounds to UCSC's 1.
game, man. Oh, nice flick by Etcher. Shot to counter that push from ramp, and they are actually going to start flooding out. Mag 7 unable to win that battle. JoJo with the Tech 9. Nice flick again by Etcher. This man is definitely on point with the op. So, switching for that role that Daikon was playing in the previous half, and completely decimating the T aggression from the stairs. A really important position, actually, for an opper. It allows you a lot more, many more options than playing CT, let's say. Obviously, you get smoked off CT, what's your option? You can jump on top of ticket booth. Okay, if you get smoked off on stairs, you can push through the smoke, you can bide your time, you can rotate connector, you can rotate CT. Whereas CT is, you kind of just are grounded, and you have to stay there because you can't rely on your teammates to rotate and come help cover that position. It takes quite a long time. So being able to opt from stairs, you can watch connector, you can watch palace, you can watch ramp. Just gives you so many options, whether it's an anti-eco or a buy round. And we're seeing Alu actually go down to Daikon. So Opper beating Opper in this case, and Cal finally being down a man for the first time. So they're going to have to fight against not being able to play as methodical as usual and really have to rely on favorable trades.
Yeah, Jay is in a good spot though, so he's pushed up all the way. I think they might check his spot just because he smoked it. Now, actually, UCSC, oh, they double back fake. They pretended like they were going out of B, and then they're gonna walk back into B. But Jay, he is in a good position. He has to get at least 2 kills here, or else, because you look at the rotation times, you have 1 window, and that's the closest guy. So if he dies without at least getting 2 kills, it's gonna be pretty devastating. Jay actually flashes himself, runs out. Here's people coming in, makes the callouts. Jay, he's in such a huge position. The pop flash! Can he go huge?
Oh, Jay! No, Jay!
Only one, no! Now you got 3 players pouring onto this site. It's gonna be up to I Love Ooh. He's been in this position like 3 times now. Gets that first kill. Etcher chiming in. I Love Ooh, he's doing such a good job. Buying time. 2v2 situation.
Yeah, the last 2 CTs are in market, and they actually pop flash one of the players, and Etcher, he's going to overcommit. The debris from the HE actually covers him for quite a bit, and Daikon gets a double, finishes off the last 2 CTs, brings UCSC into 14 points, and now 1 away from match point. Winning this 2-0 is definitely on the radar here for Santa Cruz, but at the same time, we've seen Berkeley just come back in the second half, winning 7, only losing 2 so far on the CT side, and well, if these momentum streaks we've seen from Cash continue, this could very well be a second overtime. Berkeley looking to not give up too many kills now. Getting punished for that over-aggression in the last round is definitely going to make them settle down, play a little more passive, and not overcommit to these peaks. They know what they're good at, and they're just going to have to play to every advantage they have.
Jay in that last round, he was the key. He could have gotten all 3 kills. I don't know if it was the nerves or what. But he only gets 1 kill, and that pretty much was the round because it was 4v3. The CTs couldn't do enough.
That's definitely nightmare fuel. I would be tossing and turning tonight if that were me. That hurts, especially when you're the 1B player, right? Like, you know, that's a play you should make, and it hurts. And hopefully he doesn't lose too much sleep. Obviously, it's
Jay gets picked off again, just randomly jumping around. Oh my goodness, Jay, he could have came up so huge. There was another round on a retake A where he had like a P90 spray on like 3 guys and just like only got 1 kill too. So kind of devastating. But it looks like UCSC, they think that they've got the B rotations, so they're heading towards A. But actually, no, they're just cleaning house. This is gonna be another round for UCSC.
not like this.
Not like this.
This is we saw the willpower of Berkeley. They gave us a good game in the beginning of the second half. We're putting up a fight on CT side. We're seeing the ops come out, and as soon as their economy started to dwindle, they lost those long-range battles, and well, it's starting to just snowball from there. Etcher, last man alive, goes down to JoJo. This will be match point now for UCSC. Kalas get 5 in a row. Yeah, you blame Chad? Did they jinx it?
Yeah, because I believe Captain from UCLA, he's like, can you say comeback? And immediately everyone was like, no. It's just like, everyone was just spamming no. Don't do it.
No.
But I think Captain jinxed it, man.
Yeah, it's definitely captain, not the casters, because I get blamed pretty much every game for making calls early. So yes, I will actually put the blame onto someone for once. Definitely captain, my captain. But on getting the early pick, and yeah, we're just starting to see Santa Cruz take this. It's starting to snowball for sure. Berkeley is just overcommitting to these aim battles. Neuro on the lurk, able to drop J as well in apartments. Alex at least chiming in to even it out slightly. But Uv is going to have to make a play. They need to do something to make this even. And Daikon getting aggressive through connector, almost falling into the hands of Uv. And we can see the CT scrambling. They don't know what to do. They know B's open. I love Uv, knows he needs to rotate. He can even hear grenades coming into sight. So, yeah, it's a little too late, though. Neuro's going to be able to get a little bit better of an angle now. And, yeah, he's going to be able to punish. Actually, Daikon here from apartments punishes the push from Uv. And it's just falling apart. 2v4 retake, no smokes to do anything with. And it's all up to Alex, looking for the spray, is able to find one. And finally, the nail in the coffin. Santa Cruz wins 16-10 on Mirage, winning 2-0 against Cal Berkeley. An unfortunate chain of events if you're Berkeley. It was looking really strong on the comeback. Santa Cruz was able just to win those aim battles early. As soon as the CTs tilted a bit, tried to go aggressive, they got punished by it. And Santa Cruz, ends up winning it 2-0 in surprising fashion, I must say. Definitely on paper looking like Berkeley was slightly favored, even though maybe their win-loss didn't reflect that. They obviously had some harder groups coming into it. Roster swaps all around, and yet we still see Santa Cruz come on top. So good games, really entertaining, to be honest, all around. Very unexpected plays. You kind of question whether Santa Cruz made the right choice with that Tech 9 armor buy. Obviously, it all worked out, and it's all fine and dandy. But when we started to see those 4 rounds in a row from Berkeley, it was starting to be a little questionable whether they made the right decision.
Yeah, clearly you see Santa Cruz was the better team today, and they're going to be moving on into the round of 16, and where they're going to face the winner of Poly versus Columbia. That's going to be a pretty tough matchup for them in the round of 16. We'll see if they can repeat this 2-0. That's going to be a tough task.
Yeah, it's going to be a cool game to watch, obviously. Poly, team from Quebec, 3 brothers, 4 roommates all living together. So they have a lot of land time, a lot of time to practice, look over each other's shoulder, and that definitely helps being able to play in person versus just online practice. So really cool. Next broadcast between Poly and Columbia will be Wednesday, as well as just stated. That'll close out the Ro32B bracket with UC Davis versus Worcester Polytech, and that will start at 7 p.m. Pacific on this channel. So since there's no Hearthstone on Wednesday, we're going to be moving it to the main channel. If you guys type !ASUS in chat, there is a little challenge contest, lots of little creative things you can do. Laptops, monitors, tons of cool prizes for first, second, third place. So definitely worth checking that out. You can follow me on Twitter at JZilk. You can follow my boy Will at CSL What's Wrong. And that has been it for tonight, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Give us a follow, subscribe if you feel really nice. Maybe turn your ad block off for just a second. I know we all use it. It's cool. But anyways, guys, we will be back next week. Give us a follow. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you soon.
Ha! Just remember, style lady.